Plug yourself into the machine. Become one. Become Apple's new icon. DNA straight to the screen.
Hey guys, welcome back to Floyd's Vintage Guitars. Well, today I have a guitar in my hands that could very possibly be the best guitar I've ever played in my life. And that is saying something because I'm not really a big Tele guy up until now. This is a 1961 Fender Telecaster Custom. And like I said, I think it's definitely the best guitar I've ever played in my life. go, guys. A 1961 Fender Telecaster Custom, and I have to say this is probably the best guitar that I've ever had the privilege of playing. And the reason why I say that is just the other day I was talking to a mate of mine, and I was talking about collecting guitars and how much I loved them and how amazing they were, and etc. etc. And he posed the question to me: what makes a truly great guitar compared to just a good guitar? And he really had me there, because how do you answer that question to somebody who doesn't collect or doesn't know the difference between? So I sat and thought about it for a few seconds, and I tried to explain what a truly wonderful, amazing, one in a million, excellent guitar is compared to just a good guitar or a great guitar. I'm talking about those one in a millions, those 1 in 1,000, that one you find. And I immediately thought of this guitar, because this guitar for me is on another level. I have never in my life experienced a guitar like this 1961 Telecaster. And keep in mind, I recently sold a 1961 Tele. So it's not because it's a 1961 Tele that it's so special. This guitar compared to the one I owned it's not only on another level to that guitar, it's on another level to every guitar I've ever owned. And for example, this is my 1965 Stratocaster. This is a guitar that I've owned for decades. It's been my number one go-to guitar. And this guitar kills that guitar. So much so that I've now AB'd these two guitars, and I've lifted up, I've completely changed that guitar. The way it was set up with the pickup heights and the strings and everything, I've completely changed it to try and get as close to this guitar that I can. And let me explain why. I've never been a Tele guy. I've always been a Stratocaster guy, because I've always felt that, as somebody who does vocals as well, I've found that the in-between switch positions on my Strat went really well with singing. And I really like that. And the other reason was, I've always felt that with the right pedal or with the right setup or the right settings on the amp, I can get pretty close to a Tele sound on my Strat. So that's always been my reason for picking up the Strat and going off to a gig. This guitar can do everything that guitar can do. Everything, including those sounds in between, plus take it to another dimension. And how do I explain that? How do I put into words what makes it so special? I mean, number one, it is perfectly balanced. Another reason why I've never been a Tele guy is, with the Telecaster, I had two positions, either way up high or I would sing it way down low, easy top style. Both worked, but what I'd end up doing is constantly changing it, lowering it, lifting it, constantly trying to find a position on the guitar where I was comfortable. So I wound up selling them. This guitar is one of those where it fits like a glove no matter where it is. I can't explain it. It's the same shape. The neck on this guitar, it's got this beautiful tiger stripe at the back. It is the best neck I've ever played, ever. I can't explain why. It just, the combination of the way the guitar feels around my body and this neck, for me, and keep in mind, guys, I know this is my preference. This isn't going to be everybody's. But to me, no matter where it is, it's just perfect. Then you've got the pickups. Now, the pickups in this guitar, this is the original pickup, the original bridge, which I think is the secret to everything of what I'm talking about, to be honest. And this is a vintage style pickup to basically the same style pickup as the neck would have had, but this one has been replaced with a very similar pickup to the original. But this guitar can get every single tone that my Strat can get, plus it can sound like a Gibson. And the secret to it is, to me, is this amazing bridge pickup. There's something about this bridge pickup which makes the guitar explode out of an amp. It talks, you can touch the strings lightly, you can play hard, and your speakers feel like they want to jump out of the amp. It's insane. And saying that, the secret to this guitar that I find, now keep in mind, I'm talking about the kind of, when I say I can do anything, if you're on the bridge position and you manipulate the tone knob, I should just say too, this guitar has been changed. It hasn't got the jazz switch that the old tellies used to have. If you don't already know, that meant that when you went to the neck position, it basically cut all the treble from the guitar, and it sounded like an old jazz box, basically. That's been removed. It's now set up exactly the way a modern telly would be set up, where it's bridge, middle, neck, right? Okay, but this guitar, even on the bridge position, if I've got the treble all the way up, it is the spankiest, twangiest sound I've ever heard in my life, and especially on the bass strings. It's like that James Bond kind of exploding, dun 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 dun. I just can't explain. Country heaven, picking heaven, soloing heaven, and then you just roll this back a little bit. I'm not talking about going all the way back. The tone changes completely. Roll back more, it changes again. Roll back more, go all the way back, and you're able to, on that same twangy mental pickup, you are able to play jazz like George Benson. That's just pickup one. That's just your bridge. Then you go to this neck pickup, the middle pickup, sorry, and you bring this back in again, a little bit of treble, bring more and more, and you start going from a Les Paul middle position to almost like a Gretsch nasally position when it's going out of phase. And then it starts coming into this beautiful, almost Gibson ES 175 acoustic sound. Literally, it can sound like an acoustic. I've never had that before on a guitar. Then you hit twang heaven again when it's all the way open on the treble. Then you go to the neck position. Again, it's the bottom end hits you in the chest. Now, I can't explain this, guys. I've had tellies, I've got Strats, I've got Gibsons. I can't explain why this guitar does what it does and why it sounds the way it does and why it's so special. But on the neck position, treble all the way open, it sounds like Led Zeppelin on steroids. And then you start rolling it back and it starts sweetening out, and it starts sounding acoustic, and then it turns into this jazzy, almost White Stripes kind of sound where it's bottom end, but it's still cutting through, and then eventually you're in that jazz zone where all treble is gone, and it's just now I'm playing a Gibson jazz box. I'm now a telly fan. I'm now absolutely sold on Telecasters, and this guitar has been a revelation for me. I didn't know guitars could do this. So now what I've been doing, since I've only owned this guitar for a short time, but now what I'm doing is I'm taking all my guitars out and trying to set them up so that they sound and feel like this guitar. And I'm talking about everything from the string heights from the neck to the pickup heights, and then comparing them, and A being the volumes of each pickup, and I'm lifting and everything to try and get as close as I can to this guitar. And I know what you're going to say. Well, why do you want every guitar to sound the same? I don't want my Strat to sound like this, Telly. But what I do want, I don't want my Les Pauls to sound like this. But what I do want is those guitars to jump out at me the way this one does, and then crawl back if you wanted to. It's just opened up a whole new dimension. Whereas before, these guitars kind of had their parts to play, and I love that about them. Now they still play those parts, but they've just got this big voice, and still they don't come close to this Telecaster. So, to answer that, my mate's question, what makes the ultimate perfect, brilliant guitar? It's something like this. It's a guitar that, without any pedals, with a good amp, you can, just by changing the pickups, changing the pickup selection, and manipulating your tone switch, you can get any sound that any other guitar can get. But not only that, it sounds like no other guitar that I've ever played, or none of my other guitars I've ever owned, and I've owned hundreds, none of them can do what this guitar can do. And for that reason, this is for me the best guitar in the world. And I'm sure hopefully one day I'll find another one, and I'll, you know, and yes, again, my life has been changed by this 1961 Telecaster, and it's a refin, and you know, I love the finish on it too. It was beautifully finished in like a gold top, so you've got these beautiful, you've got the beautiful look of this guitar to go along with its tone as well. You know, it is just a thing of beauty in every single way. So there you go, guys. If you like this video, please like this video. If you, please subscribe. I would really appreciate it. And share, comment. Let me know what your #1 guitar in the world is to you. Because this one has just completely thrown a cat amongst the pigeons for me. And I'm now a Tele guy, which is amazing. Cheers.
Plug yourself into the machine. Become one. Become Apple's new icon. DNA straight to the screen.